Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's Dealer Destro back with another modern era G.I. Joe video. And the reason I say video is because this really isn't a review. We'll just call this will be a subset, which I'm going to dub. What should we dub this? The Dealer Destro Custom Corner Call Out, or a custom corner? We should just call it a custom corner call out. This is where we get together and we have a little chat about stuff and things you know, whilst we partake. Okay, so this video will be probably a little interesting, a little more interesting than usual, perhaps. And what I wanted to talk about today is Skullbuster. Not this Skullbuster. He's here because he serves a purpose in the overall scheme of this, right? So if we look at what we got with this guy, and I always imagine him as like a beefy, bulky guy, because let's face it, if you're going to be in charge of these, the range vipers, you can't just be another range viper, right? Anyway, the purpose that this serves here today, and I apologize for the glare, is strictly for the file card. Literally, I have this figure in my collection specifically for the card. And then I figured, you know, if they're gonna take a go at it, I might as well just leave it carded. Right? So, who is this guy? Well, he's the Range Viper Commander, and he's made a few appearances in the comic books. He was actually, I want to say the last time I heard about him in the books was he kind of like exiled himself to a remote island or something, and they still went after him anyway. Just kind of like as part of like a cleanup operation, like, hey, what outstanding Cobra mongrels are still out there floating around, and can we bring them in? So I read an overview online. I don't even know if that's the case or not. I thought it was interesting. But yeah, so Dealer Destro, right? What is that? It's a spot where we come and we talk about reviews, etc. But I figure let's do a sub video here, right? And let's talk customs, because I know some of us, you know, we have our own interpretations of how characters should be, what characters should be, and I just wanted to show y'all my take on what I'm gonna say is an all-time. I mean, this dude's an all-time great. Let's just be real here, right? This is a recipe. This is all from existing parts. So, you know, did I sack I may have sacked a Range Viper, which, given the going rate of those guys, like looking back on it, I don't know if that was the right move or not. But anyway, I took some kind of creative liberties, right? Like, you see, it's the same upper torso, upper arm pieces that I use for this, for my interpretation of the figure. And the helmet does come off, but if you look at the eyes behind the helmet, you see that they got that red kind of sheen to them, that red gloss over. So what I did, right? I did this to all my Range Vipers. I took the helmet off, and then I cut like thin strips of the 3D glasses that you get from like Party Zone, etc., the red portion of the lens, and I just literally, I stuck those strips behind the helmet here to red the eyes out, because, I mean, I don't know, like, for me, I remember these dudes with glaring red eyes, and I know that was like a gimmick of the helmet per se, but the figures kind of fell short on that. So I took, you know, you just got, as a customizer, you know, as someone who wants to take creative liberties, sometimes you got to take matters into your own hands, right? So that's what I did for him. I don't know. Maybe I got the parts out of a fodder bin. Maybe there was like just the Range Viper torso with the backpack and the fodder bin, because you see here I gave him, I want to say that might be, I'm looking on my wall here, that might be Shadow Tracker's knife, but I gave him that because, you know, I think Skullbuster, and I'm like, man, this dude is a savage, man. But yeah, I mean, you know, just quick overview of my take on the figure. So he's got a Resolute Trooper, I don't know what this was, like a shotgun or a assault rifle with the, it's either the shotgun underneath or the grenade launcher underneath. He's got the bullet bandolier, which I painted. He's got a functional holster with a pistol. And then I want to say these lower arms here, because you see they're kind of beefy. I want to say I used the Night Adder's lower arms, perhaps. And then you can see here where I took the liberty, I actually dremeled all the joints on this figure, so that way he's fully, like, he's fully posable, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't get paint. There's no paint wear on it because I dremeled the joints down just a little bit. And what that does is that prevents the, so where you have to paint the joint or whatever. And I know most of y'all are customizers, most of y'all know this, but like for those of y'all that don't, for those of y'all that are thinking about it, maybe you can learn something from this video. But what you do, right, is you take an X-Acto knife here, and literally this disc, it has a pin that goes through it, and it attaches the joints and makes them free floating. So you cut through that, you literally disassemble the whole figure, you Dremel these bits here, and then what you do is when you assemble them, you dab super glue on one of the, wherever you sever, you dab super glue on that, you hold it together as you work the joint, and as the super glue dries, the bond reapplies to the peg from this side to this side while leaving it free floating for the disc joint. And then I just used some Tamiya, I want to say purple grape paint or something like that. One of their more louder, kind of like teal colors. And then I want to say that's like the face, right, is like a bone gray or something like that, or bleached bone gray. I don't know. They got some stupid names for their paints. But anyway, so yeah, so this helmet was originally, well, actually this whole figure from like here up was a Range Viper. Repainted the whole thing. And then these legs, I went ahead and used the Night Adder legs, and I just pretty much took the same liberties that the club did, except instead of the Alley Viper legs, he's got some, you know, he doesn't look like he skipped out on leg day or anything like that. So, and then this is just like a bronze, and I got to do some touch up right there because it looks like some chipped off. But you just, sometimes that's just how customs go. But yeah, so these are the Night Adder legs, and they work, luckily, because they're bigger, they still manage to work with this torso, and really what you have here is in my opinion, you have literally a solid interpretation, you know, of one of the more obscure characters. And I'm just, like I said, the reason I'm hanging on to the club figure is because I got a file card for him, I got a full bio, you know what I'm saying? I got card art that's fairly representative of what, you know, of what this is supposed to be. But yeah, so that's my take on obscure character. And like, don't get me wrong, look, I appreciate when Hasbro, the club, whoever, fellow customizers want to take a stab at one of the more obscure characters. But literally, I mean, when I saw what the club was trying to do, or what they did, what they went for, I was like, I like Skullbuster, the fact that they're incorporating him back into the line. I kind of felt like I had to take matters into my own hands. And yeah, we're playing around. You know, we're saying this is like a custom corner call out or whatever. And I mean, it should be. We should be able to come through and have these discussions. Because if something isn't right, and as a fan, you know, they're missing the mark or the you know, the whatever, depending on your loyalty, your brand loyalty, sometimes you got a responsibility to step up and do it the way it should have been done. And look, this isn't to toot my own horn on the custom scene. Like, pff, there's plenty of better customizers out there. Like that dude Avac, that dude's killing it. What was that dude's name? Ratfink Customs. That dude is killing it. But see, those two guys are an example of what happens when there is a miss, and the community has to step up and bridge that gap, fill that void. And you see it in Transformers 2, but it just seems like there's a more hardcore presence when it comes to, you know, these guys here. And I'm not trying to undermine, like, I looked at what went into customizing a Transformer, and it's crazy. You're talking about unpinning hinges, sanding, repainting, like, this is too much, right? As I sit here and describe that, you know, you got to take this thing apart, Dremel, etc. But I mean, you got to tip your hat to the custom community, and maybe the club is aware, maybe Hasbro is aware that there is this underground scene that is filling voids, selling parts to complete figures, so that people can just, you know, make figures themselves and not wait on an official release. Especially if the official release ends up being something, I mean, you could still kind of, like, you see how they try to do the red, right? Like on the cheeks, but you still see that his eyes are peeking through. And for me, like a range Viper, that isn't how I envision it. I don't envision the red accents as some sort of like war paint. That's the visor. That's where he should be looking through. These dudes are constantly seeing red, which probably explains, you know, why they're such savages. Maybe that does something to you after a prolonged period of staring through that helmet. I don't know. But, you know, when you see this, and like, I don't understand like the incorporation of like the spear and the three-pronged accessory there. I understand the machine gun, I understand the bullets, I understand the grenade launcher, the backpack, but I don't get why the spear and the mace, this three-piece mace, I don't understand what they were going for. Like, I really don't. So like I said, when I saw it, you know, when I saw this figure, when I saw what was going on, when I saw what was happening, you know, I felt I had to step in and fill the void, man. Like, and it's, I don't know, I guess it's like that in every fan base. Maybe Power Rangers, maybe they got some customizers. I don't know. You know, I don't look at Power Rangers that much. But, you know, I know that community is very vocal. Same thing with like the Thundercats, Masters of the Universe communities. I know those communities are a minority, but they're very vocal. And I think, you know, if things don't change, you know, we might already be there. Like, we as Joe fans might already be that minority vocal community. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to come together, have a discussion about, you know, the culture of what goes into this, the thought process of what leads up to this. Like I said, he wasn't even on my radar to do. And then I saw this, and then I was like, we can do better. We can absolutely do better. And now for the club, that might make financial sense. You know what? We'll just take a Range Viper, reskin them, and we're done. We got another obscure character added to the lineup. But for me, I always imagine him as like kind of the alpha, the bigger version of that trooper, in a wonky, because let's face it, like purple, turquoise, and then you got like this ashy gray, and that's his forearm. Like that's his forearm. So, you know, I don't know what the thought process was behind that. I don't know how convenient that is for jungle camo warfare, but that's what the character looked like. So, you know, I took some creative liberties. I wasn't going to veer, you know, off the and do a whole new color palette on him. I don't think that's necessary. But, I mean, for those of y'all wondering, for those of y'all that don't know this character, I mean, that's what he looked like. So, anyway, like I said, just wanted to come through, have a discussion. I'm gonna cut, and I'm gonna come back, and I'll show y'all what he looks like with some of his brethren surrounding him. So be right back with you guys. All right, so that's what he looks like with some of his range viper brethren, and I'll go ahead and just turn this on, let that do the rounds a couple times. But yeah, I mean, that's what they look like together, and I like that. I like how that looks. I think my take on the character distinguishes him enough that he is a commander, leader, class figure within the ranks here. And, I dig that. I really dig that. That to me looks good. I mean, heck, I even made a diorama piece exclusively for these guys. That's just kind of like, it's like open terrain. It's got some pretty little grass spots on it. And I got some really solid pictures out of that. So yeah. So we'll conclude this custom corner call out section on that note. And again, I hope you guys enjoyed the videos. I hope y'all found this informative, kind of, me overviewing some of my techniques, etc. So yeah. So maybe for the next one, I don't know, maybe we'll do like a painting session or something. So, kind of bring this all together. But yeah, so that's what I call a custom corner call out. Till the next video, hope you guys take care, and I'll catch y'all on the flip side.